Manifestation is a familiar word for almost all people. However, it is not a familiar or a regular experience for a lot of people. So, manifestation, in simple terms, only means bringing things to reality in the physical world using other powerful faculties like your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your vibrations, and the frequencies which are available. So, physics or science has definitely proven that everything is made of energy. Whether it's you, whether it's me, everything around us is made of energy. And the law of attraction only says that when you are attuned to a particular frequency of energy, you tend to now attract things, events, situations, and people who are of similar frequencies. Which means if you are in a negative mood, you tend to attract people, situations, events, which eventually will bring in more negativity. Which obviously means if you would like to manifest good health, if you would like to manifest great relationships, if you would like to manifest abundance of wealth, that means you've got to be in that frequency in which you can manifest all these positive things. So the law of attraction and the process of manifestation does not work on what you wish for. So many people wish for many things and there is no limit to it. You can wish for whatever you want in life. But the manifestation does not work on your wishes. It works on few things like programming your mind with what you would like to manifest. Tuning your inner frequencies so that you are able to manifest what you want to manifest. And the last, of course, is to be in a receptive state where manifestation can become seamless. So we all have seen there are people who put in less efforts and get a lot of great results or good results or more results. But at the same time, there are also people who put in tremendous amount of efforts but hardly get any good results in life. And these people get more frustrated. Now, if they are frustrated, they are in that frequency. And with that frequency, they will manifest events which will get them more frustrated. So one can get stuck into that entire loop. But for other people, when you look at such kind of things happening, how can you conclude it? So the only way of concluding these things are, maybe it's a coincidence, or it's good luck for those people who are putting in less effort and getting more results, or it's bad luck for people who are putting in a lot of efforts and getting less results, or you can attribute it to the law of karma, or for people who believe in God or divine can just simply put it as it's God's wish, because there is no other explanation to it. But there is a possibility that people who are putting in less efforts and are getting magnanimous results are attuned to the frequency of manifestation. It's because of that frequency, even less efforts are crucial, they are important. Conscious efforts, conscious actions are very, very important. But because they are also attuned to that frequency, they tend to get magnanimous results with less efforts. So it's like a radio frequency. So if you are attuned to a particular frequency, you will listen to the songs which are related to that frequency only. So if you are attuned to a negative frequency and you listen to negative or sad songs, one can just say that I would like to listen to happy songs. But for you to listen to happy songs, you must attune to the happy frequency. And that's absolutely crucial for all of us to understand. Now, the good news and the bad news is these frequencies that we are attuned to at this point of time in life is not permanent. Why is it a good news? Because if currently you are attuned to a frequency which is not giving you great results, it can be changed. Why is it a bad news? Because if you are attuned to a great frequency, even that can be changed. What we need to do is our default setting has to be on the positive frequencies. So even if we move into a negative frequency, the default setting naturally should move into the positive frequencies, for which we've got to do few things. So this entire session, of course, is an integrated version of the law of attraction, of creative visualization, and self-hypnosis. Because they all have certain things in common and can be integrated. So we've understood how the frequencies work, and we've also understood that we must be in the right frequency to manifest the right things in our life. So what's the first step towards practical manifestation? The first step is to have crystal clear goal. In short, what is it that you would really like to manifest? So somebody would say, I would like to manifest a better job. I would like to manifest more opportunities in the current job. I would like to manifest better relationships, personal or professional, or even both. Somebody would say, I would like to manifest a great flow of money in my life. So you can manifest whatever you want, and you can achieve whatever you want provided you follow certain steps. So the first step, of course, is to ask yourself, what is it that you would really like to achieve or manifest in your life? Unlike a typical goal setting, the manifestation goals need not be measured all the time. Like some of you can say, I would like to manifest an absolute peaceful state of mind. Now, can you measure it every moment? Yes, you will get to know whether you're peaceful or not, but it's not like a typical SMART goal. So you think about what you want. Now, there are two options here when we talk about what do you want to manifest. Either you are very clear of one thing that you really want to achieve, and everything else at this point of time is secondary. Then it's only that one thing, and what you've got to do is convert that thing that you would like to manifest into a goal statement, or as I call, as a manifestation statement. Now, the manifestation statement has to be a positive statement in the present tense or progressive present tense. I am now achieving a peaceful state of mind. I am now attracting a great flow of income through, and you can be descriptive also, right? It can be a combination of 2 or 3 sentences for one goal, or it can be one crystal clear sentence. But if you have multiple goals that you would like to manifest, then you can also convert that into something that I called as a manifestation script. So you can have multiple statements, but when you write multiple statements, it should also reflect the ultimate goal that you want to manifest and the behavioral changes that will help you achieve or manifest that goal. For example, if you're trying to manifest abundance of money coming into your life, And for that, you have to take initiatives, you've got to make some decisions, you've got to invest properly in the share market. I'm just giving you an example. So your entire script would have things like, right, I am now valuing money, I make the right decisions when it comes to money, I gracefully spend on important things, I appreciate people who are able to ethically make lots of money, and I now attract lots of money into my life. So I'm talking about my goal. I'm also talking about what changes must come in my behavior for me to manifest that particular goal. And it should look like a perfect flow. It should not be, I play guitar, I am working smart. So it should not be jumping from one to the other. So when anybody reads your entire script, it should be like a perfect flow. Now here, you can have multiple sentences also, but preferably try to keep it up to a limit of about 15 to 20 sentences. If you write too many of them, then you've got to focus on a lot of them. Now, once you've created your manifestation statement, either single statement or multiple, leading to multiple things that you would like to manifest. Now, what you do is there are two choices. Either you record them on your phone or any recording software, or you have it written in front of you and you read them initially multiple times, eventually till the time you've mugged up. That means you should be able to close your eyes and repeat all these sentences by heart. So, of course, since that seems to be a little bit of work, recording these statements seems to be an easier option, because once you've either recorded or you've kind of mucked it up in your head so that you're able to repeat it with eyes closed, now comes the process of intensifying this into your system and creating the proper frequency. Now, how do you do that is to use creative visualization with this step. Now, creative visualization differs from daydreaming or baseless fantasy by having conscious strategies and action steps supporting the entire visualization. For example, somebody can just close their eyes and visualize that they are going to become the next prime minister of this country. Now, is this creative visualization or is this daydreaming? What does it depend on is, in creative visualization, one not only visualizes it in the way that I'm going to share in some time, but also identifies conscious actions that one has to take to realize the visualization and acts on it on a regular basis. Daydreaming or a simple baseless fantasy is we visualize whatever we want and then we open our eyes and do nothing about it. There is a huge difference over here. Now, the process of creative visualization is immensely powerful to create the frequency in your inner self, and the frequency, of course, triggers the law of attraction and makes manifestation possible for you. So, few important things that all of you have to keep in mind when it comes to visualization. Now, the first point, of course, is why is visualization so powerful? Now, visualization is so powerful because when you visualize with absolute focus, your brain cannot differentiate between reality and the visualization. And the brain perceives it to be real. When it perceives it to be real, it starts producing chemical changes in your system. In short, the changes starts happening in your mind and body because it's perceiving it to be real. There was an experiment conducted many years back with athletes. Some athletes were made to run on the ground and practice, and some were only made to visualize. Surprisingly, the one who were visualizing, even their muscles were responding as if they were really running. Of course, the visualization was very focused, which obviously tells us when you visualize with that intent and focus, we can bring about a change in our system. And science and metaphysics has proven that every reality in the physical world starts with a reality in the mind first. So for example, if I ask all of you to imagine squeezing a piece of lemon in your mouth, and just imagine that the lemon drops are all in your mouth and it's very sour, you will see saliva coming out. Now in reality, there is no lemon. But because you imagined it, the brain got confused. It perceived it to be real and secreted saliva. In short, the changes were happening assuming it was real. So when a sportsman imagines himself or herself playing the sport, and when they rehearse it in their mind, it builds confidence. When an artist imagines themselves performing, it builds in confidence. When a speaker visualizes himself or herself speaking fluently with confidence, it starts bringing changes. And that's why some people say, fake it till you make it. What are they talking about? They're saying, imagine it so many times that your brain feels this is as good as something you're doing it every day. And when the time comes to do it in the physical world, your brain is able to replicate it because for the brain, you've already been doing it. And that's why when you listen to your script or when you repeat that one statement that you would like to manifest 21 times, you have to visualize it as if it is happening. And that's where your visualization produces immense power. It starts impacting your subconscious, and your body and mind starts producing the energy and vibration and the frequency to manifest it. Now, another important point for all of you is there are predominantly two kinds of visualization. Now, this is another place where a lot of people make mistakes. The good news is when you make a mistake, you don't get negative side effects. The only side effect is a delayed effect. But the manifestation can be faster if you apply the right way of visualization. So there are two predominant ways of visualization. The first one is called as associated form of visualization, and the second is disassociated form of visualization. So I would request all of you to do the small exercise right now. Do it. I know all of you are watching this video, but still do it. Close your eyes and just imagine you doing something. Maybe you're cooking, maybe you're at work, or maybe you're traveling, you are driving, and just imagine anything that you feel like. And just see what you're doing next. Just move ahead. It's just an imagination. What happens? What are you seeing around you? Who all are there? Are you alone? Are there other people? How are you feeling at this point of time? Is there anything interesting that is happening? And do all this with eyes closed. And now, open your eyes. So for all of you who could see visuals, question for you. Could you see yourself in the visual? Or you were seeing everything as if it was real. Let me explain. Now, for example, if I am imagining my last holiday, let's say I went for a holiday in Himachal, right? And I was thinking about my holiday in Himachal, and if I could see myself in the visual, that means I could see Harish is there, he was walking up the mountains. So, which means in my mind, I am able to see Harish. So, if you are able to see yourself completely in the visual, this is called disassociated imagination or visualization. Why is it disassociated? Because in reality, you cannot see yourself completely. Like right now, can you see your hands? Absolutely. Can you see your legs? Can you see your body? Yes. But you cannot see yourself completely. For that, you've got to stand in a mirror or watch a video of yourself. So when you see yourself completely, it is a disassociated form of imagination. Now what happens is, whenever you disassociate, that means you're seeing yourself far away, the emotion attached to that visualization or imagination is usually lower or it's reduced. Whether it is a positive imagination or a negative, does not matter. So when you imagine yourself in the scene, emotions are never amplified. The good news is, if it is a negative one and you can see yourself over there, that means the negative emotion is not amplified. That means you're not feeling it as if it is real, which is a good thing. But when we talk about manifestation, and we are manifesting positive things only. So manifestation only works effectively if the emotions are amplified and magnified. Which means your visualization has to be associated. That is why dreams are tremendously powerful. If you ever notice, dreams are never disassociated. You never see a dream that you're running and somebody is chasing you far away, you're running there and no, you never see it like that. In dream, you are actually running, right? You see some things in front of you and you see people behind you, and that's why it is as good as real. Now, for some of you, this will require some amount of practice. So, for example, if your statement is, I get up in the morning and I feel energetic. Now, if you close your eyes and see you're getting up, and you're smiling and you're energetic. Now, if you can see yourself smiling and energetic, it is a disassociated visual, which is not wrong. However, is not strong enough to create or to manifest. So when you say, when I get up in the morning, I feel energetic, you have to feel as if you've woken up. What you can see is your legs. You can see that you're feeling fresh. You can see that your hands are nice. You are smiling, but you can't see yourself. Or maybe you just turn and look at the mirror and you can see yourself in the mirror smiling and you're feeling fresh. So it is more on the emotion as if it is real. Once again, this will require some amount of practice. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they recall their negative experiences of the past, they do it unknowingly in an associated way. I've had so many clients coming, they say, I still remember his face and what he told me. It is so associated, and that's why the emotions are still very active. So whenever your mind even throws up a negative memory, disassociate it. Look at it far away. Imagine as if you're watching a TV screen. But again, this is not a session where we are talking about using disassociated memory for eliminating or reducing the emotional frequency of negative memories. We are talking about manifestation. So the simple rule is, when you listen to the audio, when you repeat those statements, You have to visualize them in an associated way for the manifestation to be tremendously effective. So another method that you can use to intensify these frequencies is hypnosis. And I'm emphasizing on the word intensifying again and again, because the more you intensify these frequencies, the quicker is the process of manifestation. So hypnosis is a powerful modality that can be used to intensify these frequencies. However, it is optional. If you just follow what I had spoken previously is also enough. But if you're using the modality of hypnosis, you can amplify this further. But before we move further into understanding self-hypnosis, a word of caution. Caution is again an amplified word, but a point that I have to mention. So any person who is on heavy medication for mental illnesses, like severe sleep disorders or depression or suicidal tendencies or bipolar, and you've been on medications for quite some time, do not use hypnosis without checking with your doctor. Most of the time it will only heal, but it is not advisable to use it without checking with your doctor. Just check it once. For all others, we can use it. It will only benefit us, right? And for people who are also experiencing mental challenges, if you just leave the hypnosis part, the rest anyways can be used beautifully. Now, hypnosis is one of the most powerful modality that I have used in my life to bring about a shift, and a modality that I have used with a lot of my personal coaching clients and have seen magnanimous results in the shortest possible time. Unfortunately, the association of the word hypnosis for a lot of people is not right, and a lot of taboo attached to it. In fact, it is such a beautiful modality that everyone should use it to accelerate progress in their life. So hypnosis is nothing but a state of mind, which we all anyways go through multiple times. When induced externally for the purpose of programming your mind, for the purpose of finding out the root cause of a problem, which is always there in your subconscious, the method is called hypnotherapy, something that we do. When you induce that trance yourself, we call it as self-hypnosis. But when you do it for yourself, usually you don't go into a very deep state of trance. But that absolute depth is not required to amplify the frequency. Hypnosis is also called as a state or an altered state where you are highly receptive or you are in a hyper suggestible state. That means if we suggest anything to you at that point of time, it gets magnified. Or if you visualize anything during that state, it gets amplified. And if it gets amplified, especially the positive ones, of course, that we're talking about, the manifestation power also gets amplified. And we all have gone through hypnosis. For example, if you're engrossed with anything and you even lose track of time and space, it is hypnosis. When you're so engrossed watching a movie that what's happening in the movie is now showing up on your system, like you're watching an intense movie and you start feeling it, logically knowing it's a movie, but the logical part of it is not working and you're feeling it right now, it's hypnosis. And that's why the emotions are amplified. So there are methods that you can use for self-hypnosis. The commonest of all methods is to use a hypnosis audio. So for any of you who have heard a hypnosis audio in the past, it could be for anything. It could be for fear management, building confidence, letting go of the unwanted past, building courage. It could be for anything. Most of these audios use subtle hypnotic music and subtle voice to bring in that state of relaxation. So sometimes people also get confused between a deep state of relaxation, a deep state of meditation, or a state of hypnosis. Now you need not differentiate because they all have certain things in common. So sometimes when you're in deep trance, you're meditating also. When you are meditating, you enter a deep trance also. So they all have this common link. So don't bother about differentiating these things. So when you listen to these relaxation kind of audios, you enter this mild trance. Normally what happens is after entering that trance, people either feel so relaxed that they doze off, which is also not wrong. Because with that trance state, if you doze off, it's either a power nap or a beautiful state of sleep which repairs and rejuvenates your entire body. For manifestation, once we reach that relaxation phase where your mind is not cluttered with a lot of thoughts, you're feeling absolutely light and relaxed and deep in your mind and relaxed in your body, you can now do the associated visualization and listen to the audio because it gets amplified, magnified, ensuring quicker manifestation in your life. That's the power of it. So there are various methods. If you go to my website also, www.harrishsairaman.com, HarrishSairaman.com. Under the shop section, you will find 3 free audios. They are all, the base of all the audios that I'm creating there is self-hypnosis. You will see the music, you will see my voice in that particular way because it's intended to create a trance. And that's why never listen to any hypnosis audio while you're driving or operating on any heavy machinery, because the chance of feeling a little drowsy, a little sleepy, a little trance state can put you into trouble if you're driving or operating heavy machinery. So you must obviously avoid that. Very, very crucial. So you can download these audios also and get into that trance state. The remaining one, there are audios like Stay Strong, Stay Positive. There is an audio called 21 Powerful Affirmations for Challenging Times. These anyways, when you listen to them, you'll understand I'm taking you through a relaxation and then I am bringing in messages. So when you listen to those audios, what are you supposed to do? When you now listen to my voice, you're supposed to visualize it as if it's happening. So when my statement says, you are now living powerfully and confidently, you're supposed to visualize you living your life that way and in a associated way to amplify the power of manifestation. Other forms of self-hypnosis, you can listen to some beautiful music, and sometimes you listening to that music and you just get into this deep state of trance where no other thought is there and you're just there. So you can use these things. That's where it becomes tremendously powerful. Another way of creating self-hypnosis is focus, which means you can place an object, a small object, or you can put a piece of paper and put a dot on it, or you can write a simple word like hypnosis or positivity or relax and place it in front of you. When I say front of you, the distance would be approximately 5 to 7 feet and it must be at an eye level. You should not be looking up, you should not be looking down on the object or the focus point. It should be straight at an eye level. And you obviously would be sitting with your spine straight and body must be absolutely relaxed. And you keep focusing on that point continuously for approximately 2 to 5 minutes. When you keep looking at that object or a point, various things can happen. Like you can probably see the object moving or the visuals moving. You can see multiple images. You can see the image getting blurred. You can see a light around it like an aura. All of these can happen, and over a period of time, your eyes will anyway start shutting because your eyes are feeling slightly heavy. You've been focusing. The point is not to look anywhere else. And then as soon as you feel that it's time to shut your eyes, you just close your eyes. In this method, you might feel a little bit of heaviness in your eyes and your forehead initially. But that's also a state of trance. After you close your eyes, what do? Either you repeat the goal that you would like to manifest, or you listen to the audio. When you're repeating, it's either all the sentences or one sentence 21 times, and you visualize it in an associated mode post the trance, which means it's directly getting embedded in your subconscious and produces high frequencies. I'm also going to give you a link, a choice for all of you to buy a beautiful product which is there on my website. If you go to my shop section, you will find the product called as Practical Manifestation, which right now would be at a discounted price. What all is there in the product, I will let you know in some time. But if you're clear about the hypnosis part, about the visualization part, about the frequency part, you are now aligned and all set to experience the power and the process of manifestation. So now let's look at what are the things that we must keep in mind while we practice the entire process. What should be the frequency, and the most important point, what else could be the common mistakes that people make, which definitely slows down the process of manifestation or creates failure in the manifestation process. While intensifying the frequency is very crucial, the frequency of practice should not be more. If you do this multiple times during the day, it necessarily does not quicken the process. Rather, it can be counterproductive. Let me explain this. When you manifest, what are you manifesting? You're manifesting a goal. And a goal is usually something that you don't have right now and you want it. People usually don't manifest continuation of what is there. That is usually in their gratitude exercise or their prayers. I'm very thankful for XYZ that I have. I am grateful for XYZ that I have. I want to manifest. So usually people don't talk about, I want to manifest the continuation of what's happening in my life. They usually want to manifest something more. So goals are usually some things that you don't have at this point of time in your life. So essentially, if I look at the depth of spirituality, goals or a goal setting is not a very positive process. Why? Because it's a reminder of what you don't have. Of course, if you're excited about achieving it, it nullifies the negativity. If you're burdened about achieving it, then it's a major disaster. So to be safe, what one must do is, you can practice whatever I'm teaching you for manifestation twice a day, preferably in the morning and before you go to sleep. The remaining time, you are supposed to do certain things, but the most important point is to be in a state which I call as receptive state, where you are receptive now for the manifestation, or You are in a state where you allow the manifestation to happen. Metaphorically, the 2 times what I'm asking you to do is like sowing the seeds of manifestation. The remaining time I am asking you to water it and to ensure that the seeds are able to grow. If you keep digging the mud and keep checking whether the seed is there or not there, it's still not showing up, you are going to spoil the entire manifestation process. So how do people unknowingly, ignorantly spoil it? 1, by constantly thinking about the goal and reminding themselves or thinking, when will this happen? The more you keep thinking, when will this happen, the further it goes away from you. Please understand, manifestation or aha moments usually happens when you don't think about it too much. But you've sown the seeds. You've sown the seeds and you're not thinking too much about it. So it shows up. Have you ever experienced this during your examination? You've studied something, but because in the examination you are stressed, you know the answer. Or rather, you know that you know the answer, but it's not showing up at that point of time. And you would have experienced the harder you try, the more difficult it gets to really show up. And the beauty is, after the exam is over, it will show up and suddenly come into your mind and you're like, oh, I knew this. It's because desperation is the biggest enemy of manifestation. So that's point number 1. So manifestation, twice. Do not keep thinking about it. That is why when you watch videos of law of attraction and all, there are few things that I don't resonate with a lot. Like certain people say the law of attraction is you close your eyes and you visualize as if it's already there. Beautiful process. I understand that. Why are they asking you to visualize as if it's already there? To intensify the frequency. And then they say, now it will come into your life. It doesn't happen like that. So for example, if I'm closing my eyes and I am visualizing that I'm driving my dream car because that's my goal, and I'm feeling it, I'm intensifying it. So let's assume you're also using what I taught you, associated mode, as if you're driving. That's exactly some videos also tell you. They're talking about associated mode. And now to couple it up, you've created the hypnosis trance and then you're using it. Now what happens? You're feeling it completely. You've intensified it completely. And then when you open your eyes, you're feeling great. However, now you don't have the car with you. But let's say you now have to take a bus and go to work, and you are absolutely frustrated in the bus and you're tired and you're continuously cribbing that the bus travel is bad. Now you are spoiling the process of manifestation. So it's not going to work out. So what you did in the morning is not wrong. What you did in the remaining part of the day is wrong. So what are you supposed to do? I'm not saying that you should go in your dream car. No, it's okay to go in a bus. However, you should be in a peaceful state in a bus also by reminding yourself that I've got to be peaceful, positive, joyful, because if I am positive, if my emotions are positive, I am in a receptive state at this point of time. And of course, the manifestation should always be followed with conscious steps and actions that you're going to take to help you achieve the goal. Now, during the day, you also will have to monitor whether you've taken those action steps. I'm a big fan of conscious action steps. I don't tell people just do this, close your eyes and things will happen in your life. No, manifestation will happen, but consciously, if you're able to bring about a change in yourself, that's always immensely powerful. So, I hope this thing is tremendously clear for all of you. So while you intensify the process of manifestation to remain in a state where the manifestation can happen during the entire day is absolutely of paramount importance. If you miss out on that point, the manifestation process will not produce magnanimous results. Few more things that I would like all of you to keep in mind. A lot of times people also ask that I would like to use or benefit the power of hypnosis, but then I do not have a lot of time to always program my mind with that trance. Now, a simple answer for all of you obviously would be that it doesn't take a lot of time. So these audios can be anywhere from 5 minutes for creating trance, till up to 15-20 minutes also. And then it's about repetition. But there is also a shortcut. But for that, you will have to demonstrate, practice, consistency, and patience. This is a method called trigger setting. Now, what comes into your mind when you hear the word trigger? Usually it's the gun trigger. So we can set triggers for any emotional state. I'm not sure how many of you know that. And a trigger can be any kind of a gesture or a mudra, or it can be a gesture, mudra, and can be combined with a word. It's possible. And this comes in from a science called as associations. So the brain creates associations and a trigger can be created. Let's talk about an experiment conducted by many years back by a scientist, a behavioral scientist by the name of Pavlov. So you can Google it up, Pavlov's dog experiment. So he had a tuning bell. So what would Pavlov do is every time he would ring the bell, he would feed his dogs. He had dogs and he would give the dogs food. So after a few days, the bell and the food got associated in the dog's brain. So for the dogs, whenever he would ring the bell, the dog would salivate because bell is equivalent to we're going to get food right now. So the bell became a trigger for hunger and the remembrance of food. Similarly, we can create triggers for anything, and we do have triggers. Sometimes a word spoken can be a trigger word for you. Of course, for a lot of people, it's the negative word creating a negative thing. But triggers can be negative, triggers can be positive. And triggers can be set. So rule number 1 of a trigger must be unique. That means it should not be a gesture or a word or a combination of these two which you regularly use. For example, if you regularly do a relaxation exercise and you tell yourself relax, relax. So relax should not be a trigger word for some other thing that you're trying to stack up or create a trigger for, right? For example, if you're using this particular mudra, right? So this cannot be a trigger for something. So self-hypnosis, after listening to an audio for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, when you reach a great state of relaxation. Now this state can be stacked up, associated with a particular gesture which will then become a trigger. It doesn't happen with one practice. You've got to practice it for a few days. As simple as, ideally, you should practice it for 21 days. Every day, minimum once. You can do it 3 to 5 times also, but minimum once. So for example, you're listening to a particular audio, you reach a particular trance state, and once you feel that trance, it all comes down to feeling, intensified feeling. You're feeling that great state of relaxation. Now choose your trigger. It could be this, because maybe you don't do this regularly, and press it in a particular way. Or you can have a word along with this saying that manifest. If this is not something that you use, so maybe this and manifest together. It's not necessary that you need to have a word. Even this is enough. But this, what is the state that you are creating here, is the deep relaxation. So every time you reach that deep relaxation state, you hit the trigger. After 21 to 30 days, what will happen is that state gets associated with the trigger that you've been practicing. The trigger has to be the same when you're practicing for that state. That ways you can have multiple triggers. You can have this for hypnosis, you can have this for confidence, you can have this for feeling loved. However, right now we are talking about manifestation process. So rule number 1, your trigger has to be unique, not something that you've been using regularly for other things. The second one, the trigger only has to be hit when you feel the state at its highest level. For example, if today you're listening to the hypnotic audio and you're not feeling that state because your mind is thinking about the emails or work or some other problem. So if you're not feeling it, don't hit the trigger that day, because then you are not stacking up good emotions. Rather, you are negating what you're stacking up. I hope all of you got this mind. After 21 to 30 days, what happens is this particular thing becomes the trigger point. So later, whenever you would like to manifest using hypnosis, there is no need for you to listen to the hypnosis audio to create a trance. What you need to do just is sit wherever you want to create that trance state. Maybe you close your eyes and just hit that trigger, and in a fraction of a second, you will reach that state. But again, this requires practice, patience, and consistency. Consistency in your belief that it will work, and of course, the practices. If you're not having the patience to do this, anyways, you can listen to the audio and continue your manifestation process. So this is crucial. So let's look at the entire flow of activities that you've got to do. You might want to make a note of this. Okay? I'm just telling you what you've got to do. Make a note of it. First, preferably in the morning, do your entire manifestation process, which includes listening to the audio, visualizing it in associated state, maybe the hypnosis already induced before that, amplifying it completely, and after you open your eyes, relax. Just get back to your normal routine. Maybe brush your teeth, and you can do this after brushing your teeth also, but before that also it can be done. And then you sit to plan a to-do for the entire day. Now, the to-do actionable items should also have actions which are in sync with what you're planning to manifest. So if you're manifesting great relationships, you will have an actionable item, something like, I am going to express my love, or I will express my positive feelings. I am going to appreciate my juniors, or I am going to have an open conversation with my boss, because you know these actions will produce or will support the manifestation that you're doing. So the next step, first is the manifestation in the morning. Second is to have a to-do list of actionables. Third, of course, is to demonstrate receptive state during the entire day. Whether you're at work, whether you're talking to people, whether you're talking to your customers, you have to remind yourself. Of course, there are times when you might get irritated, angry, frustrated, but you will have to remind yourself that you've got to keep coming back to a positive state. Otherwise, you're not allowing the manifestation to happen. This is extremely important, and this is where majority of people fail. Sometimes you might just be with people who always crib and complain, and just by listening to them again and again, you will get into a block state. So a simple question that you have to ask during the day is, what am I doing? How am I feeling? Oh, I am I just had a conversation with my friend. So how did you feel? I felt great, amazing. You're allowing the manifestation to happen. Though it's not directly related to the goal, but the positive feelings will allow the manifestation to happen. The negative feelings will block the manifestation to happen. Next, you come back home in the evening and you look at your to-do list and you introspect to see whether you were on track or whether you went off track. Now, please understand, Introspection and learning is very crucial. Getting angry is still not wrong during the entire day. Remaining angry is terrible. And if you went off track, then you plan for the next day. So the to-do list for the next day is planned, which you will review the next morning. Champions always learn from every experience. So you have to learn it. And at the same time, also see if there are negative things that have happened during the entire day, it has not created a negative belief. So ask yourself, if this went wrong, did I create a negative belief? Because a belief is tremendously deep-rooted subconscious, and a negative belief can spoil your entire process of manifestation. Now, belief is a huge subject, which I'm not going to explain right now. However, there is a beautiful video called as The Blueprint on my YouTube channel. So you can just go to YouTube and type in Harrish, Harrish Sai Raman, Sairaman, The Blueprint, and you will see a 3-part video course on the blueprint. Overall, all 3 parts put together is just 35 minutes, but I would request you to view it completely. Sit to watch only when you have 35 to 40 minutes in hand. View it completely, make your notes, and practice those things to ensure that you are in alignment with the belief. Beliefs are tremendously powerful, friends. So ensure that happens. Okay? I'm revising the points. Morning manifestation process. To-do list. If you've done it previous evening only, then you're reviewing it, you're modifying, you're changing it, and then during the entire day, joyfully perform and remind yourself you've got to be in that great receptive state. Don't keep thinking about what you want to manifest. Rather, joyfully perform. Come back in the evening or during your travel time. If you're not driving, take a look at your to-do. See if you were on track, off track, what were your learnings, whether you followed the steps that ensures that you have the right beliefs in place. And again, before you go off to sleep, repeat the manifestation process. And this will make manifestation a practical, regular experience in your life. So when you now go to the product section, the shop section on my website, which is www.harishsairaman.com, this entire product, of course, there is a video which explains the ingredients of the entire product. But just to tell you right now itself, there are 6 powerful hypnosis audios that I've given you. The first one is to manifest good health. The second one is to manifest great relationships. The third one is to manifest abundance and wealth. And then the fourth and the fifth are self-hypnosis audios. One of them, both have similar trance creation state, and there is a variation towards the end. The first one is hypnosis smile trance and asking you to repeat the affirmation 21 times. You obviously have to visualize in an associated state. I need not say it again and again now, right? The second one is pure trigger creation hypnosis audio. That one is only to set a trigger of that state. If you're not interested in the trigger, you need not listen to that audio, right? So that makes it 5 hypnotic audios. And there is a shorter but a powerful audio on creating a receptive state, which you can use during the entire day. And you can use that one multiple times. It's not a long audio, it's a short one, predominantly to ensure that you are in a positive frame of mind. So you can save that on your phone, and whenever during the day you feel you're feeling a little tired or you think there is a little bit of negativity, just close your eyes, listen to the audio. You will see a change because the audio is powerful. It will be a reminder of you to be in the receptive state for your manifestation to happen. So as I told you, all these audios are yours. If you would like to get the entire product, it is definitely at a discounted price. It's less than something that you will order probably through Swiggy or a meal. So the question is, would you be interested or would you like to invest in self-development, in manifestation? Once again, the product is not mandatory. Of course, the product helps you facilitate the entire process more effectively. But if you're able to do all of these without the product, you're free to do it on your own and experience the entire process. Or you can use the product and also fasten the entire process. In the end, I would like to tell all of you that manifestation is not magic. Because a lot of people who teach law of attraction and similar modalities talk about it like magic. That's why a lot of people say these things are not logical and hence don't logic, it's magical. It's the world of magic, it's not the world of logic. However, for me, magic is only magic when you don't know the how and why. Have you ever been to a magic show or have you seen it on television? Of course. Why is that a magic for you? Because you don't know how it is done. And hence, it's magic. Is it magic for the magician? No. Because the magician knows it's a skill, it's an art, it's a method which can be done in a way in which it looks like magic to the rest of the world. So I would rather say start practicing it, and if things start happening beautifully in your life, also know the beauty of creating these things. See, you can either be ignorantly or probably you can be in a state which I call as clueless wonderment. Clueless. But wonderment, because you're doing certain things, you're manifesting certain things are happening in your life, but you're clueless and you're like, wow, things are just happening in my life, and the only way you can attribute it to is saying that I think it's good luck or my time is right and things are going right. Or instead of being in a clueless wonderment state, you can move into a state of fascination with awareness. Fascinated with how the universe works. Fascinated with how your body works. The wonderment is all about knowing that your own mind and your own body is so powerful. You can be fascinated with that. You can be in a state of wonderment of how powerful this entire human being actually is. So friends, manifestation is a human ability. It is not superhuman powers. It is a human ability. Every person has the ability to do it, and every person deserves to manifest the best. The point is, how many of them remain in a state of awareness, learn from their mistakes, and practice, knowing what actually will manifest the best in their lives. So friends, stay connected. If the video was informative, I would definitely value posting or listening or seeing your comments. Hitting the thumbs up is like appreciating the efforts that I've put in to share this video with all of you. And do subscribe to my channel so that we all can remain connected and our collective frequency manifests beautiful things in our life. Because a lot of times, just by being connected or with people in the right frequencies will alter your frequencies also. Stay connected. Let's all rise together and enjoy this beautiful process of manifestation. Thank you very much. Gratitude, this time and all the time. Bye-bye.